Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me today is Terrence aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Today we will be covering the aftermath, the results of
AEW Revolution.
Yeah, that held on, oddly enough, a leap year on February 29th. Go figure. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this part I didn't get to see. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know it had a pre-show. Because the first match I saw was the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes. Yeah, the natural Dustin Rhodes. You got it.
Yeah. I'm about to say Dusty Rhodes by accident. No, but it's Dustin.
He used to be called Dusty Rhodes, but then he changed it to Dustin.
Mm-hmm. And it would be Jake Hager he would fight. Otherwise known as Jack Swagger back in the day. But apparently Jake Hager is his real name?
Not that I know. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Which case, we would have the first actual match, the pre-show, would be the Dark Order versus SCU and Cabana. I was like, what? Damn, I missed this. I gotta see if I can find this with our boy Chris. Because he always finds this somehow on YouTube and other sites. So I gotta check that out. Because the site I used didn't have it. Mm-hmm. With that said, in this match, apparently I did the run through on the read. Here. And it said that the winners was Dark Order. And when they came to swarm the guys, right? It was Dark Order that won. It didn't necessarily say who won and who lost. By him. Yep, it was a Dark Order. I didn't read that part, but the sound of it sounded like Dark Order won because after they won, they swarm around SCU and Cabana and the lights went out and a dark hooded figure would appear. It would read, is this the excellent one we would speak of? And it was Christopher Daniels coming to save his friends and scare off the Dark Order. While they ended up celebrating in the arena. Then comes the part where, how do you feel about that? Christopher Daniels not joining the Dark Order yet. In my opinion,
it was all set up.
Yeah. Honestly, by the sound of it, it would sound like one of those characters like Bully Ray when it came to the club or whatever.
Or
the Bully, being the actual leader.
And also, it had Vince McMahon. They did the same thing with Vince McMahon when he was known as the higher power, who was like the head guy of the Undertaker.
Yep, but they didn't go with that route.
They did, but
no, I meant these guys.
Oh, okay. But you think about it, it's kind of like the Ministry of Darkness.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. So with this match, the actual match that I saw that started the show was Dustin Rhodes versus Jake Hager. And these two, the match would actually start off first with Jake Hager kissing his wife on stage. I mean, near the stage. Mm-hmm. Near the ring. And everybody be booing him. Jake Hager would go in and beat the living hell out of Dustin Rhodes. But Dustin Rhodes does definitely fight back. Even going so far as to get the drop on Jake Hager and go and kiss Jake Hager's wife. And he's like, that's disgusting. Got all that red paint on him. One thing that happened during the match, Jake Hager had Dustin Rhodes. I'm trying not to say Dusty Rhodes. He's dead and gone. Just no disrespect. I'm just trying to say Dustin. So Dustin, it would be better if I said Goldust, but he's not Goldust no more. Right?
Right. Because he can't use that and he owns the rights to that name.
Mm-hmm. So while Dustin Rhodes was in the corner, Jake Hager would go so far as to lick the side of his face. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? is going on here? Jake Hager, who pretty much ends up, dang it. They cheated. You know they cheated. Jake Hager with the low blow and then beating him up, ultimately getting the pinfall, and then all natural ends. Yeah. What was his gimmick? The natural?
Yeah.
Dustin Rhodes gets defeated. Jake Hager for the win. Damn. Yep. I'm trying to think what was the next match. That's right. I think it was the women's. Keep going. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara versus
Darby
Allin. Yep. This match was actually pretty good. These two would... and she starts out with Sammy Guevara jumping him before the ring started, and they even utilized the tables outside to throw him through the table. Then they actually did get around to starting the match, and it was just back and forth between taunting one another. Until finally, Darby Allin not only hits him with a move from the corner ropes and then goes for the specialized stunner, he then goes for his signature drop. It's like, it's not a frog splash and it's not a flying headbutt. It's just a straight up drop from jumping from behind on the shoulders. He calls the coffin drop. And thus, he won the match. Good on you, Darby.
I'm just not feeling his whole attire.
How fast is your thing closing now?
It's iPhone, bro.
No, it wasn't do that before. So, okay. How you feel about that, like I was saying?
It's okay. But I'm just not... They're not my favorite, but they did good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not liking his... I'm not feeling his whole outfit, Darby Allin.
Yeah. He's half dead.
No, but I'm talking about the pants, bro.
The pants.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. The face paint is cool.
What about Sammy Guevara's panda head?
Hey, if you like pandas, go for it.
Next up is the tag team titles on the line between the Elite. We would have the Young Bucks go up against Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. Nick and Matt. Matt's the one with the dark hair, right?
Yeah, cause and plus they're the original TNA wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They're known as
and Japanese wrestlers.
But they're known as TNA.
Well, not the original.
The original TNA tag team was called Generation Me.
These guys would definitely go out of their way to actually try and outdo one another. In which case, this is where it gets down to the wire because of the fact that Matt from Young Jackson had it in with Adam Page, just trying to one-up each other, just arguing. Ultimately, there were so many high-flying moves and straight-up finishers that just didn't put him down.
But you know who are there in the same caliber is?
What?
They're the same caliber as the manager Hardy.
When they were younger.
They're almost they're at their age.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but the Hardys beat them.
Yeah.
And then the Young Bucks beat them again.
They almost,
beat them.
One was almost the same age as Jeff.
Either which way, the fact of the matter is, it really hurt them when they were actually. Adam Page was, leaping tag team pile driver onto the ramp, since the ramp was attached to the arena.
Yeah.
And then it was just be Kenny Omega in the ring against two Young Bucks. They hit him with the V trigger. It doesn't get the job done. Finally, it gets to the point where Matt single-handedly goes for the injured shoulder of Omega because of thanks to what Pac did to him. Everybody was booing after that, during that. It was like stomp, 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 stomp. And because of that, that actually worked in his favor. Because when Kenny Omega tries to go for the one-wing angel to finish the job, he couldn't get it done. Because he couldn't get it. So then, here comes Adam Page, recovered, tags in his partner, and he does the one-wing angel instead. And it still doesn't put Matt away. Damn. So finally, this match would end knowing the fact that Kenny Omega is out because of his injured arm, just laying there on the side of the ramp on his corner. Freaking Hangman Page goes for like a leap running. He calls it a buckshot clothesliner on the outside on the ramp to Nick Jackson, and then hits it into the ring with the legal partner of the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, and then gets the 1, 2, 3. Retaining their titles as the tag team champions. The Young Bucks have still not acquired the gold. How do you feel about that?
Well, they win. They did good. They didn't win. I do like Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
But I never been a fan. I never was a fan of Adam Heyman Page. Never was.
Next up, I don't think you're going to be happy to hear this one. It's Chris Stanlander versus AEW's Women's Champion, the Native Beast, Nia Rose. And Nia Rose, for the record, her mask, her skeleton mask this time, was paying homage to DC villain, about to say Deadpool again. It's Deathstroke. Half black, half orange. Or the other way around.
You said a skull mask?
Yep, she wears skull mask. If it's not just the bottom piece where the eyes exposed, it's a whole damn skull.
But Deathstroke never wore a skull mask, bro.
No, the painting.
Oh.
And she also had black and orange. She looked like she was dressed for Halloween, honestly, because of the black and orange. But that's Deathstroke's color scheme.
No. I know what it is now. She's not. I don't think she was paying homage. She was paying homage to the late La Parka wrestler.
With the mask, it looked like Deathstroke. I'm just saying. It would be Alien versus Native Beast. And trust me, everything Nia Rose said was true, that she is the powerhouse. While Chris Statlander was counting her move for move, even hitting major high-flying moves like the Hurricane Rana and Poison Rana and DDT and all that. All it took was one avalanche power bomb, which she calls the Beast Bomb, to finally put Statlander down.
Well, yeah, she's using her male strength on those women.
Yeah, tell him why.
She's a she-male.
She used to be a boy. Had surgery, now she's a girl.
Like Caitlyn Jenner, y'all.
Next up is the match that has Vendetta put all over it. Cody Rhodes versus MJF. Damn, what didn't happen in this match? First of all, we would have Wallow, of course, in MJF's corner, but coming down to the ring would not only be Cody Rhodes' wife, his brother.
That's Wardlow.
Wardlow, sorry. Oh. Wardlow. And his crew, his posse, including Apple, whatever his name is, TJ Apple, something like that. Mm-hmm. And by the looks of it, it looks like the guy who played Arrow, the Green Arrow, Oliver Queen. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, I recognize him. Hey, this guy played Arrow. Also, he had the live band who plays his intro music. That's good. That's cool. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was going to be that kind of pay-per-view where they do that. Usually they save that for like WrestleMania or something other.
Well, they're different. They don't do the stuff that you do.
True. And I think they're still putting Cody Rhodes as the AEW version of Triple H because now he's got a skull with a crown as part of its skull design. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously? Okay.
So if you think about it, he's also helping them run the show.
And the last guy, I need your help because I cannot remember his name worth a damn. The guy from the Four Horsemen.
Arn Anderson.
There you go. Arn Anderson.
He's
Anderson.
Arn.
It's the first name.
Arn.
Arn.
Yeah.
Arn Anderson.
Or you can call him a double A.
Double A. Mr. Double A himself was in the ring alongside Brandy Rhodes. So,
because if you know, he knew the Rhodes family. He knew Cody Rhodes when he was a little boy, and knew his brother too when he was a teenager.
yeah.
And plus, he wrestled his dad and knew his dad since the WCW days back in the old days.
In this match, it'd be a grueling match because of the fact that these two would just lay it out in the ring. Prior to that, though, during his match with Wardlow, the move he finished off Wardlow was a top of the cell and moonsaw him onto him and then pinning him. They didn't really talk about this. I don't think you mentioned it because he had an injured, fractured toe after that moonsaw was landed, and his right foot.
Well, they're not gonna mention that on television. You have to read about it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you do. Yeah. Mikey does.
Yeah,
Chris does. Not me.
Yeah.
So, in this match, they were mentioning that because of the fact that
they'll feel like they're wasting time because they gotta keep going.
So at one point we would see Wardlow pull in AJF. Brandy Rhodes tries to get in his face and actually throws a beer in his drink, and he's just slowly following her, having Cody Rhodes suicide dive on him. But that wouldn't be enough to take him out. Even Double A actually tried to use a chair, but the referee was looking at him, and we didn't want to see these two be taken to the showers. We didn't want that. So in this case, we would actually see Cody Rhodes actually whip, not once. He even begged the referee to do it twice. The referee allowed it, and he hit him with that big ass belt he has.
Oh, and I mentioned he also had a nickname too, Double A.
Who?
His nickname was the Enforcer.
The Enforcer. That I can remember.
The Enforcer, Art Anderson.
Oh. In which case, it also have this happening because the fact that since he knew the toe was injured, MJF took off the boot and had some struggle to do it because the boot's design was weird. It had clips and zipper and had to remove it. And when he did, not only did he stomp on it and hit it, he actually went and took the boot, took the injured foot. I'm like, he's not. And he does. He goes and gnaws on it. I mean, straight up like this. And everybody's like, oh, holy shit. You sick freak. That's what they were saying. They right on that. He's sick freak. He's not even worried about toe infections, fungus, nothing. Fun fact about your body, ladies and gentlemen. Because gravity, everything ends up at the bottom of your feet. You wonder why your feet are so dirty? You walking around barefooted? It ain't that reason. It's not just that.
So tell that to Matt Riddle.
Mm-hmm. In which case, another incident where Wardlow gets involved, Brandy Rhodes tried to suicide dive on him off the ramp, crossbody. Wardlow catches her, and then Cody Rhodes is begging him not to do anything. And then when he takes out MJF from behind him, he then immediately goes for Wardlow. Wardlow gets out of the way and hits Double A by accident. We're thinking it's going to be a revenge, another screw over at that point. But it didn't happen, for the record. It didn't happen. Thank goodness. But there was a screw job nonetheless. Courtesy of the fact that Cody Rhodes had MJF on the ropes, hitting him not once, but twice with the crossroads, because of the fact that before that, he had beaten him so badly, he was bleeding. He was bleeding off his face. And he's grabbing his feet, hugging him, begging him, I'm sorry. He spits him with the blood in his mouth. He goes for the 1, 2 on account of the 2 crossroads. But when he hits the 3, MJF managed to get enough adrenaline to knee shot him in the face and quickly messes around with his hands. And we didn't see it. None of us saw it, but the commentators had to go back on it. He had that dynamite diamond ring. Punch Cody Rhodes without the referee noticing. and pin him. Cody Rhodes didn't get the win because MJF, that bastard, cheated again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a sad, sad moment for Cody. It's dead silent, just walking up the ramp. You gotta feel bad for him, man.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted this match. He wanted the justification at All Out. Didn't get it. Damn.
And you know what's gonna happen, right?
My turn.
MJF is gonna come out and celebrate his victory on Wednesday.
Yep. I don't know if he'll get another match. I'd be happy if Cody Rhodes gets another match.
If he asks for it.
Mm-hmm. Next, it's the Bastard Pac versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
I know I said it wrong. I heard myself. Cassidy. I said Cassidy. But Cassidy. Like,
he's
what?
He's like a skinny version of Johnny Bravo.
And he's got the sloth style. With the Towel Boys, the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent in his corner.
If you remember Trent, who he was?
Ooh.
He was a former WWE superstar. He was known in a tag team called the Dude Busters.
That was a funny name. Also, in addition to this, we would have the fact that it was a sloth style. It was fun to watch. Mm-hmm. We'd actually see Pac humor the fact that he did the slow kick style, and everybody screams, "Oh, oh, oh!" It was like Pac did it too, and then he shoved him. Move after move, Pac would have the edge until Orange Cassidy stopped being a sloth and started hitting him fast, and then returned being a sloth style. Ultimately, not once, but twice, rolling out of the ring so that Pac couldn't use the Black Arrow. Mm-hmm. Although, at one point, Pac did have the opportunity to get the 3 count, but pulled Orange Cassidy's head up, saying, nah. It would look like that would be ultimately the end, because now we're seeing a hypocrite's part of the story. Twisted role, as you might think of it. Because both the best friends, Trent and Tyler, were actually aiding Orange Cassidy in the match, doing moves that would be considered heel moves. And then the Lucha Bros come in and beat them up. And through the entire match, we would see Pac not take an opportunity to hit a low blow, to beat him up. Nope, he plays fair the entire time. Ruthlessly, but fair. Ultimately ending the match in a submission. Making Orange Cassidy submit. And that was it. So now, Pac is looking for a new fighter to go up against. I was like, damn, that sucks for Orange Cassidy. But Pac, I was happy to see the Lucha Bros. There's one of my favorite heels right now because of the, Lucha Bros.
You know who's happy that Orange Cassidy lost, right?
Who?
Think about who calls for Sub the Bunny.
Ali.
Yes.
Ali.
Because they had a problem with each other.
Taking the bunny ears.
And she took his.
I know. We covered that. Me and Xavier.
She had a smile on her face when she saw that match.
Uh-huh. Before we get to the main event, I want to give a shout out to our brothers, the Heaven Monsters podcast crew, with shout out to Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as always. And a remaining shout out to Renee, Chris Petrie, Pharaoh, Andre, and Delvin. And our boy T-Money right here. This was interesting.
Yeah. I was saying, I bet she make fun of him on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. We just finished up watching this main event because I figured, since he's a big fan of Chris Jericho, I figured he'd want to watch it. So the first thing is Joe Moxley comes out from outside the arena. John Moxley.
You said Joe.
Sorry. John Moxley comes into the building from the outside entrance and walks down through the crowd into the arena, wearing his eye patch on his right side of his eye, of course. Then comes Chris Jericho's entrance, and he has a, what do you call it?
The choir.
He has a choir. I was about to say orchestra, but I didn't know the right word. It is choir. They sing in his song, Judas, and quite lovely. Even the fans got into it. Of course, that's why they did it, because the fans were singing his song. I'm thinking it too. Hey. And then comes Chris Jericho and his entire Inner Circle posse.
Orchestra is like when people are playing music, not singing.
Oh, they're singing.
No, so I said ones who are. That means orchestra means that people are playing the instruments.
Yeah, I know. That's why I made a mistake.
Yeah. No singing.
It's a choir. A choir. Sounds like I acquired this phone from you. No, we're saying acquired that people are singing.
Yeah, like you see a school, like you're in middle school or high school choir.
Or a
church.
Not Catholic. Christian church.
Yeah.
So Chris Jericho comes out with that scar that the Wednesday before on Dynamite that John Moxley headbutted and gave Jericho himself. This match, I don't know. I think their rules are more loose because this was supposed to be a standard match, yet there's no count out, no disqualification, no this. They were doing all kinds of stuff. Case in point, we saw that they went into the audience and they were all over the place. Finally getting back to the ring, we would see the Lionsgate, aka Waltz Jericho, aka both leg full body Boston Nelson. Right? Yeah. And Jericho.
Is Boston Crab or
Boston Crab. There you go. Full Boston Crab. Not one leg Boston Crab. Full Boston Crab. In which case, Jericho keeps up trying to apply it to make John Moxley tap out, but thanks to the training, John Moxley kept getting out of it. Case in point, he turns it into a leg lock. He throws Jericho. He even goes so far as to struggle to get to the ropes. And he does, each and every time. While John Moxley keeps hitting him move after move after move, even goes so far as to have Pride and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, and Jake Hager come out to aid him, and the referee sees Jake Hager, well, not sees it happening, but sees what sees that arm pulling back. And he's like, "Did you just do it?" And it's a fit from the Inner Circle because you see she's telling them, hit the showers. And they are livid. Ultimately giving the one person who isn't there, Sammy Guevara, with the title and slams it into John Moxley's face. And we would think that would be it. That would be it. Nope. John Moxley gets up and it's not done. It's not over. At one point, we would see John Moxley's eye patch bloodied, including the inside of his nose, his nostril. We're asking, how the hell did this happen? We're thinking it was, because I went back on it, because he didn't see it, I didn't. We went back on it, and it had to be when his head went into the steel steps, being thrown into it. Other than that, I can't think of when the hell did his eye and his side of his face get all bloodied. In which case, this match, it ended perfectly. At the end, we would see what would appear to be a John Moxley who was clawed out from his good eye. And we would think that John Moxley was dead and done after that. Nope, he hits a snap, paradigm shift, double hook DDT, basically. Snap means he hit real fast. And we're like, whoa, what did he do on instinct? Nope. He removed the eye patch to reveal it was all a hoax. He was playing the long game, and Jericho, when he saw that eye patch off and that eye was not injured, no patch, no nothing, He went right into it. He literally walked into another paradigm shift, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. Your new and second AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. And as a bonus, before this, we got some more info on the condition of Jericho.
He has a nose injury, and he said that he's gonna take I don't know how many months, but he's gonna take months off because he has a Fozzy rock band tour he has to do.
With that said, Jon Moxley is very celebrating, saying he's going to be a defending champion, that the title is for the AEW wrestling fans, and that would be the end of the show.
And so you won't see Jericho for a while.
With that said, you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe button, like the content, hit that notification bell for the next Heaven Monsters podcast. I'm SergDragon, and this is
T-Money.
We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.